Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World, live from Newport City Radio, as always on a Monday. And look, today we've got a big one. It's a massive preview for you for a massive game. This is first v third, and it's Cardiff v Stevenage, two of the best defences in League One, and two sides with promotion ambitions, two managers who've built proper identities. And this isn't just another league game. This is one which could be a statement for either side. This could be the moment where we go, yep, Cardiff are looking good for promotion, but it could be that Stevenage are real contenders. So sit back, relax, get involved in the comments, because this is definitely a big old preview. So as we set the scene and we know where both teams stand, and you lay out the table as it stands, look, this weekend obviously was a big weekend for Cardiff, real good performance, and what a weekend it was. Cardiff remain top of the league. Saturday, they beat Huddersfield 3-2, and if we're honest, Huddersfield were probably fortunate to get those two goals, but it was a game once again where we saw three goals. Once again we saw attacking identity from Barry Murphy's men, and once again Yusuf Salic among those goals. Stevenage sit in third place, still very much in the automatic promotion picture. They've been tough, they've been consistent, awkward to break down, and incredibly organised, but have only won one game in the last six, drawing 3 and losing 2. So here's the thing: two sides in League One have conceded like the fewest goals. Cardiff and Stevenage, two of the best defences in the league, going head to head. Cardiff's form, the best attack in the league right now, and when you talk about it, they're flying. And since that rough night at Bloomfield Road versus Blackpool, Cardiff have responded with exactly what a top side does: goals, structure, clarity. 3 goals versus Mansfield, 3 goals versus Northampton, 3 goals versus Huddersfield, 3 goals versus Arsenal under-21s. That is 12 goals in the last, in 5 games, including the Wimbledon one. But look, it's 9 goals in the last 3 league games, which is the main thing. So since every game since Blackpool, they've hit 3 goals. Salic is cooking. Obviously, the Ruben injury put a damper on it, but others have stepped up. Joel Colwell's been working like a madman. Will Fish is becoming the leader of this defence, and in my opinion, one of the best defenders in the league, alongside his partner Dylan Lawler. And then you've got Ryan Wintle, the key to everything, the glue, the man that keeps it all ticking over. And, you've got the likes of Kean Ashford, Chris Willock, Isaac Davis, all chipping in with goals and assists. And then there's Barry Murphy. Yes, he's quietly been creating this team and this identity, and is really starting to click. But he is also affecting games with his in-game management. Stevenage, on the other hand, they're tough, they're organised, they're experienced. And when you look at it, they're not flashy. They're not going to blow teams away, but what they do is they grind results out every single week, and it'll give you a horrible afternoon. They've conceded, I think, 11 goals in the league this year so far, which is unbelievable. Nobody concedes fewer big chances than them. They're compact, they're disciplined and well drilled. So you've got the highest goal scorers versus the lowest conceded. Someone's got to give, something's got to give. Most games involving Stevenage are tight, low scoring, generally tactical, exactly how Alex Ravel likes it. And speaking of Alex Ravel, there's a little bit of intrigue in that himself. He is obviously a former Cardiff City player, and let's be real, he wasn't with us for ages, but he's been there all along. He's respected in the EFL, a proper pro, a great personality, and someone who speaks highly of Cardiff City. Now, he's the manager of Stevenage. They're punching above their weight, I think is fair to say. They're competing at the top end of League One and doing it with one of those best defensive structures in the division. It definitely adds that extra bit of spice, right? He knows the club, he knows the fans, and he knows what the Cardiff City Stadium can bring in those atmospheres. But for this week, it's all about their fans, and it's going to be a jam-packed Stevenage Stadium. We know this. It just adds a whole different layer of it. He knows what Cardiff fans are like. He knows what the Stevenage fans are like. It's going to be a electric atmosphere under the lights. And then obviously we've got the Cardiff City Stadium game in probably, I think it's about 4 or 5 games. They play each other real close together. So look, let's look at how is Barry Murphy going to approach this game. Well, we kind of know. In an ideal world, it's going to be 1-2 touch football, lots of rotations, lots of half spaces. And since that Blackpool defeat, Cardiff have really shifted. The tempo's been quicker. The rotations in the middle third have been a lot more clear. The movement to get the ball out wide and in behind with the overlapping fullbacks. Use of Salic dropping in, linking up play really well. Whether it's Joel Colwell, David Turnbull or Alex Robertson, that central midfield has been ticking and the wingers have been looking good. Even the pressing shape without Ruben Colwell has been sensational. Well drilled, well organised, winning the ball high up. And that still works because you've got Amari Kellyman led it brilliantly Saturday. The week before that you had Callum Robinson did it really well. The structures, the triggers, the angles, they don't change. Brian Barry Murphy has coached his team so well that whoever's in there does the job. The fullbacks will be high, the midfield covering, Ryan Wintle doing the dirty work, Joel Bagan looking to get those crosses in, Kean Ashford drifting in to create space for either Kipaki or NG, and then the transitions. And this is the big one. Earlier in the season against teams that were really strong defensively, the Boltons, even Burton came with 2 banks of 4, right? Cardiff struggled in the transition. They'd win the ball back, but they didn't get runners quick enough and they allowed the opposition to get back into position. However, over recent weeks, they haven't done that and they've capitalised and they're becoming more and more lethal at winning second balls, capitalising on transitions. And against Huddersfield, Mansfield, you could see it clearly. Win the ball, break instantly, runners ahead of the ball and in behind. It's a clear identity from the manager and he's doing it really, really well. In terms of Stevenage, look, Alex Rebel will not be afraid to change the shape depending on the opponent. He'll try to make sure there's no space between the lines and they'll try and shut the central areas down. They'll try and drag you into their type of match. They'll want to control the rhythm and it becomes gritty and ugly and stop-start with few chances. They'll thrive in that. Set pieces will be very, very strong for them and they will look a threat. So Cardiff must stay switched on because there's been a couple of instances where they switch off and the ball comes from a corner to the edge of the box, and we think it's twice this season we've been done by that. So if we can really defend properly on set pieces, we're a real threat with set pieces ourselves. And then they'll look for counter attacks in the channels. They don't break with the numbers that Huddersfield do, but they will break with purpose. Two passes into the channel and then they'll turn you round or against your own goal and try to capitalise on it. You have to stay switched on the ball as well. Where the game's going to be won for me, I think there's 3 key areas. I think, can Cardiff break the Stevenage block down? If we move the ball slowly, I think Stevenage will suffocate us and they'll stay with a nice sort of 2 mid-block and just make it really difficult to play through them. However, if we can keep that tempo high, like Northampton's second half, like Huddersfield, Mansfield, we can break them down. We have the quality of player to do it. But the tempo's got to be there. I think set pieces at both ends. Stevenage are very good at defending, but also attacking dead balls. We've got to improve defensively with the dead set pieces, but offensively we've got plenty of threats. Fish, Lawler, Salic, even Amari Kellyman's got some height on him. So there is threats there. Perry NG as well. And then lastly, controlling the midfield tempo. Whether it's Turnbull, Robertson, Joel Colwell alongside Ryan Wintle, it doesn't matter who it is, they have to control that rhythm. Cardiff have to play the game on their terms. If Stevenage drag this into a scrap, if it becomes stop-start, it will absolutely favour them. And make no mistake, right? Cardiff go into this with confidence. Brian Barry Murphy is only looking at one thing: winning 3 on the bounce, scoring more goals and going top of the table. He's coming to win. He knows no other way. Salic is in great form. Ruben's out, but Amari Kellyman has stepped up. Callum Robinson has stepped up. We might even see someone else in that 10 for this particular game. He may go with a more midfield option like a Joel Colwell. Ruben obviously will come back in the new year, but these players are stepping up. The identity has been forming all season and it feels like we're slowly building and it feels like we might just click at the right time, but it's a big game and there's a lot on it. Something like this, it looks and feels like we're on the brink of clicking, going into a real tough period over Christmas. But this is a big one. I said the other day, if we could take 4 points from the 2 Stevenage games, I'd probably be pretty happy because defensively they're so good. But if we can go to their place and take 3 points, I think it's a big statement not just to Stevenage, but to the rest of the league, that Cardiff are starting to find their feet. But there we go, first v third, top two defences in the league, best attack in the league versus the best defence in the league. It's going to be a fascinating game. Alex Rell will get up against his old side. Brian Barry Murphy building something special. This is the kind of game where champions can show themselves. They can show, and you can look back at the end of the season and show that this was a game that really put a statement down, put a marker down. And I think this is something that Cardiff are capable of doing. They're capable of going to win and play their game. It just, for me, it'll be about tempo. If Cardiff get the tempo and the rhythm right this game, I think they're very difficult to stop. But Stevenage are very hard to break down, and they will be a threat. So we need to have the right players on the pitch, which Brian Barry Murphy has done very well of recent times in terms of picking his 11. And then if the game is tight, he will need to change the game again with his subs, which again he's done very well this season. So hopefully Brian Barry Murphy can keep building his own influence on games, but also get these players in the right frame of mind, playing the right stuff, and it's 3 points for Cardiff. My prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Cardiff, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's a 1-0, because I think it'll be low scoring. Hopefully it's another predicted score right. But thank you so much, as always, for joining me. The Cardiff City phone in tonight, and don't forget the member show tonight as well. I'll be back after the game tomorrow night, and of course we'll have 3 questions tomorrow lunchtime. Take it easy, my friends. See you in a bit. This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and let's support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.